Okay, next topic is the detention centers. We're just going to go on a roll. So, um, the detention centers were built in the Bush and Obama administrations as an effect of Clinton's policies regarding immigration, and they were not made for children. They were not expecting to have as many children coming in through the southern border as they were. Obviously, we have to separate children from the adult that they come in with. We don't know if they're family or not for at least 48 hours so we can properly assess what's going on. And because they're coming in at such a mass rate, our officers down at the southern border, they're not able to keep up with that. It's not their fault. It's just too much going on. They're not equipped to deal with this many people. They're not equipped to deal with this many people for this long, or even smaller amounts of people for that long. I don't remember where I saw it, but I recently saw an article that said that the former administration of Obama is actually suing the architect of those centers because they weren't created for long-term human use, and that's exactly what a detention center is for. Our jails, our juvenile detention centers, they're all detention centers to house someone. So the fact that they didn't build them to the criteria to keep people, humanely, is absolutely unacceptable. They didn't do their job, and these are supposed to be government contractors. These are supposed to be the best of the best. They're not. That is just ridiculous. But in addition to the centers themselves, the mass amount of people in them is by no means our government's fault. That's the fault of the cartels and coyotes that are causing mass panic in Mexico. They're telling everyone that now that Donald Trump is president, they're going to build the wall. They're pushing that narrative down there because they know it as much as we know it. But as long as they get in before the wall is built, they'll be guaranteed citizenship. That's what they're telling everyone. So they're creating this hysteria to get everyone, oh, well, you have to leave now. Just give me all your money. Give me everything you've got. We'll take you now. And they're trekking these people all the way through the desert to get across. I was just watching a video yesterday about how when they see Border Patrol agents, they run to them. They are so eager to be found and to be rescued. They run to them. They don't run away. They're not trying to flee. They want to get into these detention centers. People there can voluntarily leave. That's what a lot of individuals don't understand. You can't take the children that you brought with you, and that's actually a good thing because children from South America are being rented from poor families. A lot of the times they don't come back at all, in order to get adults into the country. That's what they're doing because they know as long as they have a child, they can claim asylum. And as long as they get in and get into the system, that's all they're worried about. Because they know they can leave at any time. They're not worried about getting kicked back in Mexico. They're just worried about getting into America. They don't care how they do it. They might even be switching identities within the pins themselves. We don't know what kind of numbering system they have. Surely there are multiple people with the same name. Can't just be based on photographs. We all know how reliable the United States government is on keeping tabs of people. So they could literally be changing identities as we know it. It's just insane to think about. So it's by no fault of our government. That is what's happening, is there is a hysteria being created that is trying to overburden our system so they can sneak more people in. And unfortunately, it's working. And not only that, but other organizations have caught wind of that. That's why we found Syrians at the southern border. Why are there Syrians coming in from Mexico? Because they know what's going on. They know that our government is so concerned with bickering with each other that they can sneak in through the cracks. And that is scary. That's not Homeland Security. And I'm sorry, but our federal government's number one job is to defend our homeland. America has never been invaded, except by the white man. But we're not going to start now. That's not going to happen. So we seriously need to get it together. In addition to that, I have a big problem with the federal government not admitting the issue that's going on at the southern border, and Republicans as well. They just want to act like, oh, well, they can leave, they want to come here, that's what they have to go through. Like, no. I I understand that. You have a point. But there are children here. There are women that have been sexually abused and assaulted on their way here. Granted, they chose to come here, they chose to make that trek, but they feel like they have no other choice because of the hysteria that's being created. So it's all connected. But the federal government needs to reach out to its citizens, us, the US people, and say, we need your help. We need you to send us deodorant, toothbrush, toothpaste, toilet paper, kids' clothes, toys, whatever you can, so that we can try to welcome these people into the country appropriately. And I understand that you don't want to reward bad behavior, but that's charity. If people choose to give it, that's different than being forced to. And that's what they're doing with their taxpayer dollars right now. And I also understand that a lot of Democrats are trying to create this humanitarian crisis, like it's the federal government enslaving people down there. No. They can leave whenever they want to, number one. Number two, they chose to come here, so not like Nazi Germany concentration camps. I'm so sick of hearing that comparison. It's not even close, not even in the same ballpark, let alone the same sport. But number three, if it's so bad, why do they want to come here? Why are they joyful when they see Border Patrol if it's so terrible? Maybe because it's better than what they just came from. So, although we're not rewarding bad behavior, we're not rewarding, criminal acts, because I'm sorry, but entering the country illegally is a criminal act. Children should not be held accountable for the actions of their parents. I am 100% for dreamers and DACA recipients, but not for their parents. No, you did a crime. You need to serve your time. Now, how long that time should be is definitely up for debate. I think that all sentencing needs to be looked at, because this is just getting out of hand. I mean, prison overcrowd, they're literally releasing people due to overcrowding. That should not be a thing. Just release people because the crime wasn't that bad. Like, really, that's a whole nother topic. But the federal government has a hand in this, and they don't have a hand as well. They are at fault, and they're not at fault. Nothing is black and white. Everything is gray. So that's how I feel about the detention centers.